Alright, let's look at the pawn endgame from Bogo Fine 1936, where white had a winning position, and it does look like that. He has an outside passed pawn, and usually the winning plan here is to use this to distract the king here, and meanwhile we go here, gobble up this side, promote one of these guys. And yeah, that could have happened, but it is incredibly hard to do, and Bogo didn't manage to do it in the game, and it's not easy. The first move doesn't really matter, but makes sense to go with a king forward, and black should come here. It should try to, well, first of all trade some pawns on this side, but also kind of blockade the white king from entering anywhere, while kind of like shielding here and being ready to run to this side when the pawn starts to run and distract the black king. So here in a game, Bogo went king e4, which throws away the win. And now black played g6, builds a wall here. So white has no entries here. Now, for instance, in a game, he went there. But for instance, if we start to run a4, black should run after the pawn. Now if you keep using the pawn to distract the king all the way so we get a hole here and enter, black should play g5, trade pawns. And now the problem is that if you take here, black takes here, we run towards these pawns, black has time to snag this pawn or play h6 here, doesn't matter which order you do. But basically we take that pawn and then critical move g4, drive this guy far away as possible. It didn't really matter if white played the h3 here. It's a wasted tempo anyways, wherever we waste it going after this pawn or wasting it here to stopping it advancing. So the point here is that, well, this is of course silly, but doesn't really matter, we are going towards that place. White is just one tempo short of shutting the door down here, and black gets to the critical f8, which we know is enough to hold against the flank pawn, unless it gets all the way here and stops us from running. So black's going into the corner, and white can stop him, but then he gets locked in the corner. We know this. And here, not taking, sidestepping the pawn doesn't help either, because black can level a h5. And then the problem becomes that if we go for this guy, these guys are gonna break through meanwhile. And even though it looks scary, white is also in time just to promote their queen. And with a flank pawn, well, black can instantly capture it too, so of course nothing. Here, queen versus queen, easy draw. So f5 doesn't work either. So in a game, white went king d4 instead. And black comes here, keeps blockading their way in. Oh, here we could have looked at also the possibility of f5, which would be a great move if black was obliged to take. Then we go here, and now we have an easy way in. This is now way too slow compared to this, and coming back and running there. So this would be an easy win for white. Any kind of a wasting move doesn't help here, because white just gets more time, and eventually they have to end running antium. This is just hopelessly too slow. White goes there, and promotes. That guy has a long way to go to get back. But unfortunately, f5, good as it looks, this doesn't not really help, because black can just ignore it. Keep the pawns in a way that they keep shielding the entry from the king. You can play h4, but now black can just go for this, and well, if you go here, black can always create a passed pawn of their self and actually win the game. So h5 is not a real threat, and this is just too slow. black can take also here, and then the problem here is that now he comes running back. White come, oh, that doesn't really work, but yeah, keeps coming back. Eventually h5. If he goes here h5, problem is that it's not in time to get here. So instantly we have to first distract the king here before we can use the h5 as a tempo. And if white tries to play here, it doesn't help us, because now we are in time to get close enough, and then you get locked here in anyways. This did not help white at all. And if you go here, after king c6, you go here. Now we win that one tempo that we instantly went h5. They can come here and here, but now he has to go here, here, here. Extra move, and that's exactly what black needed here. So opponent games, they're so freaking hard. Every tempo matters. Alright, so instead of that, white went here, black went here, and then white went king c4. And now black played h6, which is not a good move. Because now suddenly white can double back. And now if you do, for instance, g5, we can just run with the pawn here. And this is no good, because then white has a fast way in. You're completely too slow in your race here. White takes here, you take here, we go here. This can't even step past us, and yeah, well, you see that white's ready to run. And there's just too many tempis behind. And, well, trying to hold on here doesn't work. Well, here again, it's very difficult. Like, white can't move the a-pawn, because then suddenly black can double back or go here, and then d5 and then g5 takes. And of course we take this way. Other way it's no good. King e6, king here, king f5, here, here. We end up in this same situation. Key move g4. Distract the white king as far back as possible, so black gets to the critical f8 here. So white has to play here h3. Gets this square in control with the tempo. Black can run here, but then we go king d5. And now if you try h5, we double back instead. Get here, here. Obviously we cannot go here without letting this guy go through. And if we take there, they take here, and then they get to trade their last pawn away. No good. So we double back here. Now if black takes, we take. And again, they're way too slow. This doesn't really help us in any way. Or running is just not gonna help. White's in plenty of time to shut down the door and promote. And yeah, here the one point is that why this h3 was critical, that now this does not work. Because white does not take. Again, this is draw. But he goes here, covering this square, and now it's covered with the pawn and the king. So this does not work. We just take, come back, win, and push. So a lot of detail here, incredibly hard to find. And well, here white did miss the winning move, and he played king e4 instead. Now black can run. White does get in, but g5, and with this we have already seen takes doesn't help what happened in the game. White runs for those guys, black goes eat the pawn, and then g4, critical tempi, and here they agree to draw, because again black is in time to get here, where either you block the corner and get stuck there yourself, or let black run into the corner and there's no way of getting him out of there. It ends in a stalemate. So that was a... So how does white actually win this? This does not spoil anything, but instead of going here, white was supposed to go here first. We distract the black king towards here, and then we go king b5. Black can try to make their own passed pawn here, and then suddenly white does double back. Now we made a hole here, and we have seen this already. Now this is still a passed pawn here, and we are just in time to catch this guy, and then we are in time. Like, this stuff is hopelessly too slow. King f5 takes. King comes here. King has to go this way. Better route than this and allow the sidestepping. So only move here. Black comes closer. We come take this guy without allowing to run forward. Then we are just again in time to shut down the door and win. So king c4 here, and if black tries to come here, now we double back here and we have kind of sidestepped the black defenses, and this route is kind of fast or long. And well, also this guy is probably going to survive. So, well, black can play 3 g6, but then we just run into this side. Black doubles back, we use this pawn to distract him back and then run here. And this is just no longer feasible plan. White wins. Again, this way is the fastest. Probably doesn't matter in this case actually, because this was so far away. But good technique anyways. So I thought that was a really nice endgame, and just shows how hard pawn endgames are. Like, in a principle, you'd think that this is the easy way to use this pawn to distract. But white has some problems because it's not easy. Like, black can build a wall and it's not so easy to break a hole in it. But he could have done like triple here and then double back maneuver to win this endgame. Anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time.